This tiny camera right here might be the best point and shoot camera out there in the market you can get, but after almost 1 year of using my Ricoh GR3, is it actually worth it if you're considering buying it? Let's find out. I'm Wallace, a Vancouver-based photographer. Over the past year, I've been taking this camera everywhere I go, including traveling, street photography, or just hang out with my friends. Basically, I use this for day-to-day photography no matter where I am, because look at the size of it. It's literally the size of my hand, so I can just fit it in my pocket and I can use it whenever I want. Today, I'm going to show you what I love about this camera and what I don't like about this camera, and also who I think the Ricoh GR3 is suitable for. So the key features and the first impressions I got from this camera was that size of it, the sensor, and also the sharpness. This camera is small enough to fit in your pocket, but the image quality is way better than a phone camera. This APS-C sensor is paired with a 28mm lens, so it's good for capturing your daily life, for example, doing your homework or hang out with your friends. And it's really good for just using it for basically anything. The lens also gives a really good detail, and you really see the sharpness and the blur behind the back because of the f2.8 in this camera. You also don't need a high shutter speed. Like, I can use 160 of a shutter speed and I'll still capture amazing photos because the lens is 28mm. So you can just basically squish together and take a picture with no unwanted motion blur. So the pros after 1 year of using this camera is, of course, the size. It makes me more motivated to bring this camera out and just take pictures because I can literally fit it through my bag, my pants, or even my hoodie. Second thing I like about this camera is that you could add your own preset into the camera. Like, you can make your own style of photography. You can make it film, a dreamy look, black and white, and many more different choices. You can basically get creative and make your own style and do whatever you like. This allows you to edit less, and I just shoot on JPEG because the photo from the camera is already really good enough and it basically do not need any editing. I'll show you some examples of the JPEG I got straight from the camera. Now let's talk about what I like about this camera. The first thing I like about this camera is the 28mm, as I said earlier in the video. This is exactly what I want because I'm able to capture amazing photos with high quality with my friends and family, and also document my life through this camera. And the reason why I like this camera way more than my phone is because it just gives you a different style. Street photography is also really good for this camera, and it's one of the most popular point and shoot camera for photographers. So what is lacking about this camera and what I don't like about it? The battery is decent, but I really couldn't hold a day with just one battery. So I had to get 3 extra batteries, but generally 2 batteries is enough to last through a day of photography. The other issue I heard from a lot of people is that the dust can get inside the camera and you'll see some black dots on the camera when you take a picture. This had not happened to me before, but when I bump my f-stop up to f16, I'll see like tiny dots, but it's not really that bad in my case. The last thing I hate about this camera, well, it's probably just my fault anyways, because here's a story. You're getting this camera, you should really consider into investing into like gears that can help protect your camera, like a case, like a lens hood that you could help your lens. I know this is going to make your camera bigger, but a few months ago my sister was using this camera just to take pictures of random things, and then she accidentally dropped this camera like this. It was on and then it just dropped like lens down. So somehow the lens got stuck, and then we had to repair it in Hong Kong since it's cheaper, but it cost like around 500 Canadian dollars. 500 just to repair a camera is definitely a lot. So if you really want to protect your camera, please consider getting a case or any protective gears that can help protect your camera. But I don't have one right now because I probably won't drop it myself. I have this right here, I can put my finger on it, and whenever I take photos, I just hold on it like this and I take a photo. And I also have a bag just to put my camera in, so that if I put it in my bag or something, it won't just destroy the camera somehow. Pairing cameras is something you really don't want to have because it costs a lot of money. Before I dive into how the Ricoh GR3 transformed my workflow, I want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Dehancer. If you're like me and you like film photos, then this is definitely a must-try app. If you take a picture through your phone or any camera, mirrorless camera, but you want the film look, this app is definitely for you. Because this is not just a filter app. It's built on a lot of years of scientific research, delivering tools that rival their renowned desktop plugins. Key features of this app is that Dehancers work for both video editing and also photo editing. The video editing app includes a lot of different tools that can make your video look more cinematic and also have a film look. Dehancer is compatible with both iPhone and iPad, so you can just edit on the go when you have time in the car or when you're taking transportation. Here's a before and after photo I edited using Dehancer. You can really see how it transforms the mood and the tone. Check out the Dehancer app and give your photos or videos a professional film look. This will be listed through the description below. Now let's get back to the Ricoh GR3. This really changed my workflow because sometimes I just prefer this over heavy and a lot of different camera gears because of the size and the photos it gives out. For traveling events or when I just don't feel like carrying around a camera bag with all my heavy gears, I just use this camera. But for more serious photo shoot, I would of course bring my heavy camera gears. Here are some photos I took with the Ricoh GR3. This can show you that you don't really need a lot of heavy gears or anything, and this can just do all the work for you, especially when you have your own favorite presets you put in the camera. Now let's talk about who should buy this camera. If you're into photography or you just want a camera that you can bring everywhere in your daily life and not worry about it, then this camera is for you. It is one of the best point and shoot camera you can get out there in the market, and the 28mm really helps me with my photography and how I compose my images. But if you want something like closer to the 50mm, then you should get the Ricoh GR3X instead. Also, if you want to change your lenses through your camera, you should get something like this right here, where you can actually take out your lenses and put a different one in. So after a year, the Ricoh GR3 really changed how I feel photography, and it has been a game changer for my workflow. It's not perfect, but the strings are definitely really good, and there are not really a lot of weaknesses for this camera, mostly just about the battery life, and that's it. If you own this camera and you want to prevent dust from coming in, you should use tape and basically cover the speaker holes. There's one right here, there's one right here, and there's one in the bottom. I really hope this video gives you an idea of if you should get the Ricoh GR3 or not. And if you want to see more photos I took with the Ricoh GR3, then go check out my Instagram that will be linked below in the description. Peace.